New at noon, masks are now optional at Clinton National Airport and on all 6 airlines that fly there. The nationwide exodus of masks on planes and public transit follows a judge's ruling yesterday, striking down the CDC's transit masking rules. Errol Barnett reports.
The Transportation Security Administration will no longer enforce the federal mandate requiring masks in all U.S. airports and on-board aircraft.
Cheers erupted on flights Monday afternoon after airlines announced one by one an end to the mask mandate, dubbed by some National Unmasking Day.
It's over immediately. Congratulations.
This comes after a Florida federal judge ruled the CDC exceeded its authority. Travel industry analyst Henry Hardevelt.
How much of a surprise was this to you?
On a scale of 1 to 10, a 12.
The ruling from Trump-appointed Judge Catherine Kimball Mizelle came as unwelcome news for the Biden administration.
This is obviously a disappointing decision. The CDC continues recommending wearing a mask in public transit.
The move essentially forces the federal government out of the mask rulemaking business, a policy which increasingly led to violent altercations.
Has the age of mask mandates while traveling come to an end?
I believe the age of having to wear a mask while traveling has ended.
Now travelers may decide to mask up or not.
It's ridiculous. We're so tired of it.
It's a preventive measure. If they tell me, for example, I don't have to wear seatbelts anymore, I'll still wear my seatbelts.
Still, some eagerly embrace the end of one of the most high-profile COVID mandates. And the end of this rule does apply to Amtrak, to your local buses, your subway, and ferries as well, unless there is a local jurisdiction rule, as is true right now in New York City. Ride-sharing company Uber has ended its mask mandate for drivers and passengers, but we do expect there to be some confusion along the way. I can tell you here at DCA, the overwhelming majority of passengers are still deciding to mask up, so you may want to keep these handy. Errol Barnett, CBS News at Reagan National Airport.
Again, masks are optional for travelers on every airline flying out of Little Rock, and the TSA will no longer enforce masks. THV11's Ian Russell is working to get more answers on how this affects folks traveling, including on Rock Region Metro. He'll have a full report tonight at 5 and 6. Plans are underway for a total overhaul of an attraction known by many Arkansas families. The site of Wild River Country has been sitting abandoned in North Little Rock since 2019. An estimated $28 million entertainment venue is planned for the property, though, on Crystal Hill Road and Interstate 430, right there by I-42. Developers say it's a prime central location for what will be called Malley's Entertainment Center. James Thomas, owner of Malley Construction, calls it a high-tech venue. Our partners at Arkansas Business were first to share news of these plans, which include a bowling alley, arcade, and a driving range with electronically tracked golf balls. Thomas says it's unlike anything Central Arkansas has ever seen.
I think the combination of this would be a good thing for Central Arkansas, is because we want to be a destination center for entertainment there.
North Little Rock Mayor Terry Hartwig tells THV11 the city is thrilled to welcome Malley's Entertainment Center. He says economic development has an exciting momentum in North Little Rock. The Malley Group also has plans to build an entertainment venue with adjacent apartments up in Conway. Thomas tells us construction on that should start soon. As for North Little Rock, site work should start later this year, with construction getting underway next year. Similar to how we didn't have a flu season last year, we really didn't have a stomach flu season either. But according to CDC data, it's making a comeback and it's affecting kids in Arkansas especially. One doctor at All for Kids Pediatric Clinic in Little Rock says he's seeing about 7 to 8 kids per day with stomach flu. He says it's mostly in school-age kids, which isn't out of the norm for this time of year. It's just that the infections are back.
During COVID, it was nice to not have to deal with all of it, but now that COVID is kind of coming down a little bit, it's pretty natural to see it, so it's not a shock.
Dr. Byram says an adult could be sick with this for 12 to 24 hours, while a child may be sick for up to 3 to 5 days. Let's turn now to the war in Ukraine. The government says Russia has launched a massive new offensive in the eastern part of the country. Russian-occupied territory is now concentrated in the east and the south, but they do not have control of a few key cities. Chris Livesey reports on this new phase of the war.
Зараз вже можна констатувати, що російські війська
Russian troops have begun the battle for Donbas, says Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, setting the stage for major clashes of tanks and heavy artillery unlike anything we've seen since World War II, Ukraine says. It's a massive buildup in the eastern region of ongoing clashes, none more infamous than Mariupol. After weeks of resistance, now on the brink of doom. Russia has told its last die-hard defenders holed up in this steel mill, surrender or die. But they refuse to give up. Looking for hope in cities like Chernihiv, north of Kyiv, it too was besieged for weeks. But against all odds, it was a triumph for Ukraine. Last month, shooting down this Russian bomber. It crashed into this home, killing the owner, but shockingly, no more. Its payload failing to explode when it landed on Nikolai's doorstep. So this is your house right over here. So it's just a matter of feet. That's unbelievable. He's so lucky. Others were not so fortunate. Some 50 people were killed in this apartment building, one of the deadliest single strikes of the war. All of a sudden, I was covered in shattered glass, says Larissa. She takes me into her bunker, where these women have been hiding for more than a month. At one point, they could barely fit. Here, 200 people were in here. Now we have lights, she says, but for a long time, all we had were candles. Are you afraid that they're going to come back? The war goes on, she says. We're begging your country for more weapons. We don't know what's waiting for us out there. And the same could be said anywhere in Ukraine. Moscow says it struck more than 1,200 targets overnight. Here in Kyiv, the air raid sirens have been sounding, with Vladimir Putin out to prove that even if his invasion is now concentrated on the east, nowhere in Ukraine is safe. Chris Livesey, CBS News, Kyiv.
Up next, an Arkansas community coming together to help make wishes come true. That story after Nathan's forecast.
And we're seeing lots of sunshine out there. A great day to hike up Pinnacle Mountain or take a walk around the region. Tomorrow, though, you'll need the rain gear close by. We've got a good chance of showers and storms. I'll have more details next.